Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into something really foundational. It's the global digital transformation solution market. Hugely important, affects almost everything. Our mission today, simple. We've got this detailed market report, and we're going to pull out the key numbers, the core insights for you, so you can quickly get a handle on just how massive this trend is and, where it's heading. Think of it as your quick briefing.
Absolutely. And honestly, understanding the pulse of a market this dynamic is, well, it's essential now. If you want to stay informed, maybe even stay ahead in this tech-driven world, knowing where the money's flowing, why it's flowing there, it gives you a really valuable perspective on what's next for business, for innovation globally.
Okay, let's unpack this then, starting with the big picture, the global figures, because the scale is just wow. So back in 2021, the market clocked in sales revenue of $411.71712 billion, a huge number already.
Already massive, yeah.
But get this. It's projected to climb past $708 billion, $708.263 billion to be exact, by 2025. And then it really takes off. The forecast hits $2,096.03 billion by 2033. That's over $2 trillion.
$2 trillion. It's staggering.
It really is. And this reflects a strong compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of about 14.525% over that whole period.
And what's fascinating there with that CAGR, that 14.5%, for anyone less familiar, CAGR kind of smooths out the bumps, right? Gives you the steady average annual growth. And see it get consistently that high?
Yeah.
Well, it signifies this really widespread, almost universal adoption of digital tools by companies everywhere. Businesses are pouring investment into things like cloud, AI, automation, you name it.
Right.
It's not just about cool new tech anymore. It's fundamental. It's about improving how they work, getting that competitive edge.
That's a great way to frame it. Competitive edge, operational improvement, not just tech for tech's sake. So that's the global view. But let's break it down. Where is this happening most intensely? Let's start with North America, a real powerhouse here. In 2021, the market size there was around $139.159 billion.
Significant chunk.
Expected to hit $235.798 billion by 2025, and then really jump to $677.019 billion by 2033. That's a CAGR for North America of about 14.093%. Still very strong.
Very strong indeed.
Now, drilling down a bit within North America, the U.S., as you probably expect, is the giant. It was $112.301 billion in 2021, projected to reach $188.383 billion in 2025, and then $530.104 billion by 2033. That's a $13.43 billion in 2021. It's forecast to hit $38.462 billion by 2025, and then $123.894 billion by 2033.
Yeah.
That gives Canada a standout CAGR of 15.745%, really accelerating.
That is standout, higher than the U.S. rate.
Yeah. And Mexico, steady growth too. $5.427 billion in 2021, heading towards $8.952 billion in 25, and $23.019 billion by 2033. That's a 12.5% CAGR.
So you see those different speeds, don't you? Canada's acceleration is particularly notable. Could be many reasons. Maybe strong government digital initiatives, maybe a really vibrant tech startup scene, or perhaps faster uptake of certain cloud technologies.
Interesting. Yeah, it shows those regional nuances really matter.
Definitely. It's not just about the overall size.
Okay, so that's North America. Let's shift gears and cross the Atlantic to Europe. Europe also showing really steady, significant momentum here. The market size in 2021 was $112.809 billion. Pretty close to North America's starting point, actually.
Yeah, very comparable.
Growing to $190.211 billion by 2025 and projected to hit $540.775 billion by 2033. The CAGR for Europe, around 13.952%, so very solid growth there, too.
Almost 14%, right alongside North America. Consistent.
Exactly. And within Europe, let's look at some key countries. The UK, for example, started at $15.455 billion in 21, expected to grow to $25.342 billion by 25, and reach $68.138 billion by 2033. That's a CAGR of 13.16%. France is slightly larger and growing a bit faster. $16.47 billion in 21, heading to $27.96 billion in 25, and $80.575 billion by 33. That's a 14.146% CAGR.
What?
And Germany, the largest European economy in this space, $21.885 billion in 21, projected $36.645 billion by 25, and $102.747 billion by 2033. They are, but it's not just them. Other countries have even higher CGRs. Italy is at 14.5%. Russia, interestingly, at 15.1%. Spain around 15%.
So growth is broad-based across the continent.
Very much so. And then you have the rest of Europe category that's projected to hit almost $20 billion by 2033, up from under $5 billion in 2021. And And the report specifically mentions robust growth in places like Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland, Luxembourg, all showing strong double-digit CAGRs as well.
It really paints a picture of, well, very digital maturity across Europe, perhaps. But everyone is clearly investing heavily. Germany's strength in manufacturing likely drives investment in industrial IoT, while the UK's financial sector probably focuses heavily on fintech and cybersecurity transformation.
That makes sense. Different priorities driving that consistent growth.
Exactly. Leveraging digital for their specific economic strengths.
All right, next up, Asia Pacific. And the report suggests this region has, well, even stronger momentum.
Oh, interesting. Faster than North America and Europe.
Looks like it. The market size in 2021 was $104.986 billion, so starting a little behind the others, but it's projected to rise to $185.77 billion by 2025 and then reach $581.647 billion by 2033.
Okay, catching up fast.
And get this, the HIGA-GR for Asia Pacific is 15.335%. That's the highest regional CAGR we've seen so far.
Wow, over 15.3%. That is impressive. What's driving that?
Well, let's look at the key players. China, obviously huge, projected to grow from about $34.96 billion in 2021 to over $187 billion by 2033. That's a 15% CAGR.
Sure.
But the real standout here seems to be India. India's making really significant strides. Its EAGR is projected at 17.297%.
17%. That's incredible growth.
It is. Starting from $16.378 billion in 2021, it's forecast to surge to $111.095 billion by 2033.
What's behind that, do you think? India's acceleration. Well, it's likely a combination of things. You've got this huge, rapidly digitizing population, massive mobile phone use, plus significant government pushes for digital infrastructure. Think digital payments, national ID systems, that sort of thing.
Right, the Digital India initiatives.
Exactly. Combine that with a growing tech-savvy workforce and a booming startup scene, it just creates this perfect storm for accelerated digital transformation. It could really shift the global balance.
Fascinating. And it's not just China and India, right?
No, not at all. The report also points to South Korea, Australia, Singapore, all experiencing robust KGRs, also above 15%.
Okay. And Taiwan is mentioned too, expected to reach nearly $22 billion by 2033, plus growth across Southeast Asia and the rest of APAC. So really broad strength.
Definitely the region with the strongest overall momentum, based on these numbers.
Okay, let's run out the world tour. We have South America, the Middle East, and Africa left. South America is described as gaining traction, valued at $23.879 billion in 2021, growing to $41.889 billion by 2025, and projected to reach $128.906 billion by 2033.
And the CAGR there?
About 15.086%. So also very strong, right around that 15% mark. Brazil is leading the charge, expected to hit nearly $55 billion by 2033. And countries like Argentina, Colombia, Peru, Chile are growing fast too, mostly between 14.6% and 15.7% CAGR.
So another region showing really dynamic growth.
Indeed. Now, the Middle East, described as growing rapidly, started at $11.116 billion in 2021, forecast to hit $19.807 billion in 2025, and reach $62.881 billion by 2033.
Yeah.
The CGR here is 15.535%. That's actually second highest regional CGR, just behind Asia Pacific.
Really? Higher than South America?
Interesting. Yeah. And you see robust double-digit growth across the board. Egypt close to 16%, Turkey over 15%, Saudi Arabia over 15%, and the UAE stands out, the PGR projected at 16.631%.
Wow, the UAE really pushing ahead there. Lots of smart city and diversification initiatives probably fueling that.
Makes sense. And finally, Africa. To complete the picture, started at $19.762 billion in 2021, projected to reach $34.788 billion by 2025, and expected to grow to $104.801 billion by 2033. The CAGR for Africa is 14.78%.
Still very solid, almost 15%.
Yes, and the leaders mentioned are South Africa with a CAGR of 15.293% and Nigeria at 14.41%.
Looking at South America, the Middle East, Africa, it does raise an important question. How are these regions with such varied economic conditions, different levels of infrastructure, how are they all supporting such strong, consistent growth in digital transformation?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it speaks to a universal understanding now. Digital investment isn't optional anymore. It's fundamental if you want to modernize, compete, participate in the global economy. And sometimes actually having less legacy infrastructure can be an advantage. You can sort of leapfrog old tech and go straight to modern mobile-first or cloud solution.
The leapfrog effect, right?
Yeah, which can accelerate things even faster in some cases.
So let's try and bring this all together. We've thrown a lot of numbers around. What does this all really mean for you listening in?
Well, I think the picture is incredibly clear. Every single region, pretty much every country we looked at, is recognizing the need for digital transformation.
Hmm.
And they're acting on it, investing heavily.
Exactly. It's not a niche thing. It's not just for tech companies. It's a global imperative.
We're global imperative. I like that.
Because organizations everywhere, they get it now. They have to invest in these digital solutions to stay competitive. Simple as that. And it's driven by these core needs we talked about, making operations more efficient, improving how they interact with customers, making things more personalized.
The customer experience piece.
Yeah, and also unlocking innovation,
Yeah.
using digital tools to create totally new products, new services, new business models. So again, it's not just plugging in new tech, it's fundamentally changing how businesses operate, how they create value, how they connect with the world, a fundamental reshaping that really captures it. So the core takeaway, this digital transformation solution market. And it's not just growing steadily, it is exploding. Globally, we've seen specific regions like Asia Pacific and the Middle East showing incredible acceleration, but really strong growth is everywhere. It's reshaping industries right now.
Absolutely. And maybe that leads to a final thought for everyone listening. Something to chew on. Given that this transformation is so essential now for companies to compete, to improve, to innovate, how might all this pervasive investment start to fundamentally reshape your daily life over the next, say, decade?
Good question.
Think about it, how you bank, how you shop, how your food supply chain works, how you get health care. It's all being touched by this. So what new digital tools or services might become just indispensable in your life or maybe in your specific industry based on the trajectory we've just discussed?
That's a fascinating question to ponder indeed. Lots to think about there. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We hope this breakdown was useful. Until next time. Hey there, and welcome back to the deep dive. You know how we do it. We grab a mountain of information, a stack of sources, articles, research our own notes, and really dig for those golden nuggets of knowledge just for you. Today, we're plunging headfirst into something that's, well, it's literally reshaping how every business works, the incredibly dynamic world of the digital transformation solution market. Yeah, we're talking about how organizations operate, how they compete, and ultimately how they serve you, the customer. Our mission today is to give you a real shortcut, sort of a way to get well informed on this absolutely crucial area. We're going to unpack the key forces driving this massive transformation, shine a light on the challenges that can sometimes, trip it up, and then look ahead at the exciting trends that are shaping its future.
And what's truly compelling here, I think, is that digital transformation isn't just another buzzword you hear. Not anymore. Our sources really underscore that it's become this relentless strategic imperative for businesses. It's really about moving toward smarter, far more efficient operations. And that's fundamentally altering the competitive landscape for, well, pretty much every type of organization right now, regardless of size or sector.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Our sources reveal a few core drivers, and the first one that really jumped out at me was this increasing demand for operational efficiency. It feels like businesses are just under immense pressure to streamline workflows, cut down on manual interventions, and, well, just plain boost productivity. But what does that really look like on the ground? Are companies just, cutting costs, or is there a deeper strategic play happening here?
Oh, it's definitely deeper than just cost cutting. Our deep dive showed that to achieve this kind of efficiency, companies are strategically leveraging a whole suite of digital transformation solutions. We're talking about automation technologies. And by that, our sources highlight things like robotic process automation, and back office tasks, not just factory floors, alongside things like scalable cloud services and these deeply integrated digital platforms. These aren't just tools. They're enabling businesses to become incredibly agile and, maybe more importantly, responsive to changing market conditions. The big takeaway here, I think, is that agility isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. It's what helps them stay one step ahead in what's become a truly hyper-competitive world.
Right, agility. So that's about making things run better internally. Makes sense. But what really struck me in digging through these sources was how fundamentally customer experience is reshaping the entire game. It's not just about making a better product anymore, is it? It feels like a significant move from a product-centric to a truly customer-centric approach.
That's exactly right. If we look at the bigger picture, improving customer experience has become, well, paramount. Companies are deploying digital solutions like CRM platforms to manage interactions, AI-powered chatbots for that instant support people expect, and what our sources call omnichannel engagement tools, basically systems that ensure a consistent, seamless experience whether you're interacting via phone, email, social media, or even in person. And the surprising nugget here, perhaps, is that personalizing these customer experiences isn't just about driving sales, it's a direct driver of brand loyalty. And ultimately, that increased customer satisfaction, it can even impact employee retention because, engaged customers often lead to more satisfying work for frontline teams.
That's a great point. And this focus on efficiency and customer insight, it seems like it's powered by an engine that's been revving up for years, and our sources really underscore its acceleration now. I'm talking about the explosive growth of cloud computing and big data analytics.
Yeah, this brings us to a really crucial point about decision-making. How are organizations making faster, more data-informed decisions in real time? Well, the answer lies in the accessibility of scalable cloud infrastructure, which means companies can quickly expand or contract their computing power as needed, coupled with these really sophisticated analytics tools. These allow businesses to draw powerful real-time insights from, well, everything: customer behavior, market trends, even their own internal performance data. It's truly compelling because this direct line to actionable intelligence is what fuels innovation, helps maintain that competitive edge, and it's why we're seeing such strong global momentum in the adoption of these solutions. It just makes sense.
But every grand ambition has its obstacles, doesn't it? It's not always smooth sailing. Our deep dive revealed maybe 3 formidable hurdles that often trip up even the most determined digital journeys. The first one that always seems to come up is the high cost of implementation. It's just expensive.
You're absolutely right. The upfront investment required can be quite daunting, very daunting for some. Our sources highlight significant costs, not just for the digital tools themselves, but for new IT infrastructure, essential employee training to actually use these new systems effectively. And let's not forget the often complex process of integrating disparate legacy systems. That can be a huge challenge. What's crucial to understand here, I think, is that these financial barriers can really slow down or sometimes even completely prevent smaller and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, from fully embracing these critical transformation initiatives. It can kind of create a divide in the market.
That makes sense. The price tag can be daunting. But I've also heard some argue that the cost of inaction on digital transformation, not doing it, far outweighs the upfront investment. Did our sources touch on that perspective at all, or was the focus mainly on the hurdle itself?
That's a great question. And while the sources primarily focus on the immediate hurdle of cost, the implication throughout is pretty clear. Avoiding these investments leads to falling behind competitors quickly. So it's truly a strategic decision with long-term consequences. It's not just about the budget line item, and beyond the budget, there's the human element. Our sources underscore something called cultural resistance to change.
The human factor. Always the tricky part, right? It's like trying to get everyone to switch from paper maps to GPS overnight. Some people will grab it immediately, others will, clutch their old road atlas until it falls apart.
That's a perfect analogy. And it highlights that this isn't just a tech problem. It's fundamentally a people problem, isn't it? Exactly. This resistance is a major factor, and it's pervasive. Our sources show it can stem from a very real fear of job displacement among employees, or maybe a general discomfort, limited tech fluency, or just a deep-rooted comfort with existing familiar processes. We've always done it this way. This human factor, whether it's from individual contributors or sometimes even entrenched leadership, is a significant reason why many digital transformation projects, even those with the best technology, frankly, they struggle to gain any real traction or deliver on their promise.
And in our increasingly interconnected world, there's a critical concern that always comes up when we talk about integrated systems. Data security and privacy. That's huge.
Well, absolutely. A crucial point emerges here. As companies become more reliant on interconnected platforms and cloud services, their exposure to cybersecurity threats inherently rises. It just does. Safeguarding sensitive information, especially in highly regulated sectors like healthcare and finance, requires substantial and, importantly, continuous investment in robust cybersecurity measures. The deep dive revealed that risk management isn't an afterthought. It has to be an integral, ongoing part of any successful digital strategy. It demands constant vigilance and adaptation.
Okay, so we've seen the drivers and the hurdles. Let's shift our gaze now to the horizon, because our sources are packed with exciting trends shaping the future of this market. And right at the forefront seems to be the deep integration of artificial intelligence and machine learning, AI and ML.
Yes, AI and ML are rapidly becoming the sort of invisible backbone of next-generation digital platforms. We're seeing them embedded everywhere now, from intelligent automation of complex workflows to predictive analytics that can foresee market shifts, and far smarter customer interactions. Our sources provided some fascinating examples. AI revolutionizing fraud detection, for instance, or optimizing global supply chains for unprecedented efficiency by predicting demand, and fundamentally changing how businesses deliver value to customers through hyper-personalization. It's not just about efficiency. It's about creating entirely new capabilities. It's transformative.
And then there's a trend that's been, well, pretty unavoidable since 2020, the massive growth of remote and hybrid work infrastructure. I'm curious, how is this shift impacting the digital transformation market beyond just, providing Zoom calls?
Right. It's much more than video calls. What's evident from our research is that hybrid and fully remote work models aren't just fads. They are really becoming the new operational normal for many organizations. And this isn't just about facilitating online meetings. It's driving massive investment in an entire ecosystem of digital workplace solutions. Think secure cloud access for distributed teams, sophisticated collaboration software that goes way beyond simple chat, and virtual desktops that allow employees to work effectively from almost anywhere. The key takeaway here, I think, is that these tools aren't merely enhancing productivity. They are fundamentally changing how organizations function and structure themselves on a truly global scale.
Very interesting. Finally, our sources highlight a sharp rise in what they call industry-specific transformation solutions. This sounds like a big move away from the old one-size-fits-all software model.
That's precisely it. The striking thing is that providers are increasingly offering tailored digital tools. Tools designed specifically to address the unique operational, regulatory, and customer-facing needs of very specific sectors. So for instance, in healthcare, it might be secure patient data management and sophisticated telehealth platforms. In manufacturing, it's all about smart factories and IoT integration. For retail, think hyper-personalized e-commerce and real-time supply chain visibility. And in banking, robust fintech solutions for security and customer service. These customized solutions are proving incredibly effective. They're driving faster adoption and achieving better, more relevant outcomes across a diverse range of industries because, well, they speak directly to specific pain points.
So what does this all mean? We've covered a lot today, haven't we? From the drivers accelerating digital transformation to the hurdles it faces and the exciting trends shaping its tomorrow. But the core takeaway seems clear. The digital transformation solution market is absolutely full of promise, driven by continuous innovation and, frankly, necessity. Whether you're a tech provider, an enterprise leader, or just a curious listener like you, its importance for how organizations operate is just undeniable.
Definitely. And maybe as a final thought for you to mull over, consider how deeply these digital shifts are integrating into every single facet of business and society. Think about how the continuous evolution of this space might change how you interact with services and organizations in the years to come, and how it will continue to reshape the world around us, often in ways we haven't even fully anticipated yet.
Exactly. It's a space that's always evolving, always innovating, and there's always more to learn. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Keep exploring.